Hello, class. How are you? Hope doing pretty much fine and taking care of your health and trying to do the best you can, even with our present circumstances. Basically, today we're going to start trying to read and study lesson number 2, in this case from what we have on chapter 15. And this lesson is about introducing ourselves into the solar system. Basically, you are going to be trying to understand new topics, new terms, new definitions. And for example, first of all, which I want to share with you, is that the International Astronomical Unit defined planet as a celestial body that is in orbit around the sun. It has sufficient mass for its self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces so that it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium, that means nearly round shape, and has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. The International Astronomical Union defines, for example, a dwarf planet as a celestial body that is in orbit around the Sun, has sufficient mass for its self-gravity to overcome rigid body forces so that it assumes a hydrostatic equilibrium, nearly round shape, and has not cleared the neighborhood around its orbit, and it is not a satellite. Then we have another term in which maybe you are going to be getting interested about, and is a Plutoid. In this case, a Plutoid is a type of dwarf planet distinguished by having an orbital path around the Sun beyond the orbit of Neptune. Plutoids satellites are not themselves Plutoids. The first three named Plutoids were Pluto, Eris, and Makemake. Founded in 1919, the International Astronomical Union is made up of almost 10,000 astronomers from around the entire world. It is the internationally recognized authority for assigning designations to celestial bodies. So in this case, if we want to introduce ourselves to understand and know more about the solar system, we have to make ourselves two questions. Basically, what makes the solar system? And a second question, how did the solar system form? Um, so in this case, our solar system is made up of four basic types of object, right? Um, if we were to ask ourselves what makes up our solar system, well, we will be able to say that in this case, it will be the sun, the planets, their moons, and smaller objects, right? So, what is the center of the solar system? Obviously, we know that it is the sun. And we will describe the solar system in this case, or a model of the solar system with the sun as the center. We already know that for that definition, we can say that we are talking about a heliocentric model, right? So if we wonder, or if we ask ourselves what holds the solar system all together, our primary first option will be gravity, right? And basically that's it. The units that we use to measure large distance in space are astronomical units, and in this case, you should know, you should remember, you should memorize that one astronomical unit is equal to the distance between Earth and the Sun. And that will be 150 million kilometers, just for you to know. So if we want to introduce ourselves to the solar system, we have to remember about planets, about dwarf planets, satellites. We have to know that there are smaller objects over there in outer space. Um, Basically, the two kinds of objects that are considered to be planetary are planets and dwarf planets. And their characteristics will be that they are round, It orbits around the sun and has cleared out other objects from the area around its orbit, right? So in this case, we already know that we have 8 planets orbiting around the sun. In this case, Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And we have to know that there are 5 dwarf planets in the solar system. In fact, Pluto is classified as a dwarf planet. Okay, in this case, the dwarf planets and planets, we can say that they are alike because they both orbit around the sun. And we can say that they are different because dwarf planets have less gravity, not enough to clear their orbital area of other objects. If you go to page 556 and 557, you have there a sketch, an image of the solar system, and you are supposed to be trying to answer some challenging questions. So I will ask you to be doing that, okay? And basically that will be it. Well, yes, in this case, I did forget to tell you that some important information that you should know about the solar system is, for example, um, when do scientists think, in this case, that the solar system was formed? And the most average good answer will be like about 4.6 billion of years, okay, ago. And the theory that scientists think the solar system was formed is from a cloud pulled together by gravity. Okay, and this cloud was made of hydrogen, helium, rock, ice, and other materials. And last but not least, I will just want to you um, remind to yourself in this case that one of the defining characteristics of a planet is that it has cleared out the area around the path of its orbit. Okay, you're going to be finding some interesting terms like, for example, planetesimals, and in this case they are small bodies made of rock and ice. And if you were to ask yourself how did planetesimals forms as planets, well, um, they collide and stuck together, right? And this is related to the definition of planet because by colliding with and sticking to other matter in their path, planetimals cleared out the area around their orbits and they also became larger in the process. So there are some questions that I will want you to answer for me, please, on your notebooks after reading lesson number 2. And these will be the next questions. Number 1, what main categories of objects in the solar system are different from each other? Number 2, are objects within each category alike? Question number 3, what determined the main differences between the inner and outer planets? And question number 4, why is this distance important? Thank you very much, and I will see you on our next live lesson class.